We are here with Will DuVall from Southern Illinois. Will, how are you?
I am doing wonderful.
What's up, Will?
How's it going?
Oh, we're doing great here. We're doing wonderful.
Will, so tell us a little bit about what branch of the military that you served in and how long did you serve for?
Well, I was fortunate enough to serve in the United States Army as a combat medic, otherwise known as a 68 Whiskey. I did that for about 6 years.
Yeah, and it looks like you served. At least in Afghanistan. I'm guessing you saw other parts of the world. Tell us a little bit about your experience. Serving. Where were you? What were you doing? That kind of thing.
Well, it was really just an adventure all in itself. From an extremely small town in Southern Illinois, and I decided that there was not very many opportunities for me in my local area, and I wanted to take advantage of the opportunities I did have, and I was blessed with a good, strong, fit body and halfway decent brain, and the United States military seemed to be a good fit for me. So I enlisted in 2007, completed my basic training at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. They call that Lost in the Woods because it's literally in the middle of a giant forest. From that point, I had been, as a medic, our training is completed in San Antonio, Texas, so that was pretty cool. And we had a little bit of freedom to be able to explore the city. And from San Antonio, that's when the real adventure began, because my first duty station, I was sent to a little small post called Hohenfels, Germany, and it's in Bavaria. And my house was literally on the side of a mountain, and it was extremely satisfying. Every morning you wake up and you see just beautiful scenery. In the winter, the weather's not so nice, but the summer and spring, it's beautiful, in the fall as well. I did deploy from Germany to Afghanistan. I was in Afghanistan for a year. And when I come back, I finished out my term in Germany. And much to my surprise, my next duty station was back to San Antonio. So I went to San Antonio, and I was assigned to an organization that teaches different NATO countries pre-hospital care and advanced burn life support and different things like that. So I got to travel everywhere. I went to Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, South Africa, Cambodia, Belize. I went all over and really got to kind of see the world. And unfortunately, when I was in Afghanistan, I was injured, and some of those symptoms started to surface while I was in that last duty station of mine. And I had no choice but to be medically retired. But I was very thankful for my time serving during that in the military.
Yeah, well, we thank you for your service as well.
Absolutely. Well, tell us, so once you got back from serving, how did you then get involved in the APA and pool?
So my wife and I, every Friday night, it's date night. Night away from the children, and go out and have some dinner and find something fun to do. And we found ourselves, becoming regulars at the local town pub, and they had a pool table in there. And neither one of us had ever played pool, and we decided that we started, seeing what we can do with it. And at first, we had no idea at all what we were doing, but through repetition, we started getting pretty good. And we got to a point where there was none of the locals that was really that could beat us. And there was a guy that came in, and he walked in, and he had his own gear. And all the locals were like, "Oh man, you guys aren't going to win a game tonight. This guy's really good." And we played for a little bit and played with this guy, and he's like, "Man, I really like you guys. I really like the way you play. would you be interested in joining my pool team? And I was like, I didn't know they had pool teams. And sure, that sounds wonderful. And he brought us in on his Tuesday night pool league team. And from that point on, I was absolutely hooked to pool. I went out and I bought me a brand new diamond table and a valley table for my garage, and I played 5 hours every day for a year and a half.
Excellent.
Nice.
So I know you battle from your time served. I know you battle PTSD. It's something that some troops come back from their service. Obviously, a very serious thing. But one of the ways that we got familiar with you is you mentioned that playing pool and being part of the APA has really kind of helped you in that battle with PTSD. Can you tell us a little bit more about how pool has been a form of therapy for you as a veteran?
Oh, absolutely. So to me, pool is the perfect blend of the positive aspects of the military. One of the big things that veterans miss about the military is the camaraderie amongst each other that you develop, because, amongst soldiers, we are our own little family. And pool is very much the same in that aspect, because on your team, you can develop relationships that are just much more than a pool team. It's a friendship, and some of these friendships are going to be lifelong friendships, and you have that sense of camaraderie. And then there's the teamwork aspect of it, developing a strategy in order to advance to the next level or win the match for the evening. And you sometimes have to think outside of the box, and you have to be creative in how you do that. And then the thrill. I mean, there's playing pool is thrilling and it's exciting, and those are some of the things that kind of get you amped up a little bit, makes you feel like you're living and you're enjoying what you're doing, and you have something to look forward to every week. Pool league night, you got that competition, you're playing this team or that team or whoever it is, and you've already kind of picked out who you'd like to play for the evening, and you build your strategy on how you plan to win, or what you plan to do for the evening. And the sense of community in the pool league in our area in Southern Illinois is incredible. I've developed more friends in pool than I have my entire life, and it's kind of weird now because my wife and I are travelers, and we're world travelers. We go everywhere all the time. It's kind of the running joke with all of our friends. But every time we go somewhere, we're like, okay, where's the pool tables at?
Nice.
So you talked about you and your wife, on date night, like that's how you kind of started playing pool. Is that actually how you started playing pool, essentially? Like, did you play before that? Like, did you guys, when you were younger, did you play pool, or did you get to play on base at all while you were in the military or anything like that? Or is that really how you guys started playing pool?
No, that's how we started. We never touched a rack before that. Nice. I mean, probably casually as you're kids and you're just hitting balls and watching them go rail to rail or whatever. But we had no experience with pool at all. And it would just kind of fell in love with the game from the beginning. And when we really learned how to play and understanding the actual mechanics of the game, develop a good stroke and all that, it become extremely intriguing. It was no longer checkers, it's chess now. We're having a good time. We're learning how to manipulate our cue ball, get different shapes, get our breakouts, and do all these more challenging things. And it's not just make the ball in the hole anymore. And that just brought us both into loving the game.
Yeah, just got hooked.
Nice. So, you talked about how pool has helped you kind of get reintegrated into the civilian life and some of the parallels of your time in the military and finding some of those things that you liked about the military in the sport of pool. But what would you tell other veterans, other military members, who are maybe finishing up their service, or they're in a situation where they can get involved in APA while they're in the service? I mean, is it something you would recommend? What would you say to a fellow serviceman?
Oh, absolutely recommend it. Great thing about the APA is anyone can play and anyone can win. And I firmly believe that you don't have to be a wonderful player to be successful in this league, and you will develop over time. And each team has a place for individuals of different skill levels. I think the APA has, by design, the best handicap system that I've experienced, and it keeps the game fair and fun. One of the great things that I know veterans of my era enjoy is technology, and the APA has its own application on smartphones in which you can just watch your stats, you can look at your schedule, and it's really convenient to have at your fingertips. And it's kind of one of those extra perks to being in a league that offers that. And there's just a whole new set of warm-hearted people that you probably wouldn't have interacted with if you don't try out pool. So I strongly suggest that any veteran that's looking for something as a hobby. And here's the great thing about this game. There's no age limit. This is something you can do for the rest of your life. We've had players in our league that are over the age of 90 and as young as 18. There's no age limit, and there's no restrictions as far as physical limitations. Some folks that you think, oh, they have a disability. Yeah. Think that until they get to that table, and they're a wonderful player. And you'll develop those friendships and teammates that you wouldn't have had that opportunity with just by joining a pool league. So I strongly recommend to anyone, not just veterans, anyone, if you're thinking about joining an APA team, certainly give it a shot.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Nice. Well, Will, really appreciate you taking the time to join us. Obviously, happy Veterans Day. And again, thank you for your service. Thank you to all of our veterans for their service, and for sharing your story with us, and telling us how pool has kind of changed your outlook on some things and helped you kind of get back into that normal civilian life that most of us kind of probably take for granted sometimes.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you for the opportunity to meet with you guys today. I'd like to thank Southern Illinois APA and Joseph Froenick, and best of all, the Dirty Birds, Vegas 25. Let's go.
There you go. Well, hopefully we'll see you in Vegas,
yes.
Will.
Thanks so much, Will.
Take care, buddy.
All right, take care.